NZ Aerosports, Icarus Canopies, now Gyro. That's right, we've rebranded, and Gyro is our next generation. It honours our founder, as that's the name we knew him by, but Gyro also marks the start of a new chapter. And not to be biased, but it's going to be fucking epic. Long story short, we're more us than ever, so if you're new to the sport, or even a Sky God Ninja Turtle, welcome. I think our valiant leader Lucy, Gyro's daughter, says it best.
And we still got that fuck yeah attitude. Rebrand! Woo!
Rebrand woo indeed, Lucy. Anyway, head over to gyro.com for more info and get amongst you legends.
I was 19, broke, unemployed, and sold my girlfriend's canopy for drug money. So I thought I better sew her a new one. What a sentence, and what a story. This describes the humble yet outrageous beginnings of NZ Aerosports, the home of Icarus Canopies, in the words of our founder himself. From getting a paratrooper toy from his mom, watching parachutes at the DZ as a 6-year-old, jumping off the wharf with a parachute made from bed sheets, doing his first jump at 16, sewing his first canopy on a borrowed machine at 19, and starting to sell parachutes out of a garage in 1986, Paul Gyro Martin had an undying love for the sky. Our company started with one man with the wildest of spirits and a true blue sky dream, a renegade. In the time that Gyro created and ran the Icarus Canopies brand until he passed away in 2017, he pushed everything he had to its limits. We miss him, and we always will. Gyro is the next generation of NZ Aerosports. It honors our founder, of course, because it was the name we all knew him by, but Gyro the rebrand also marks the start of a new chapter, our next jump. Gyro is the space between sound and silence, art and science, chaos and calm. Gyro is a state of epic tranquility that transcends understanding. That moment, in the door, in free fall, mid-swoop, where nothing but the present exists. A perfect balance of euphoria and thrill. Gyro captures our passion for flying and our commitment to designing break-the-fucking-rules canopies that deliver pilots pure, wild flight. Hey gang, so I got a new book out. It's called The Upside of Fear, and it's exactly what you think it's about. It's about the good side of, well, getting scared. In it, we talk not only about the science and biology behind fear, but the psychology as well. And it's not just coming from me, it's coming from some of the best in the sport. Omar Alhigelan, Jeff Provenzano, Maxine Tate, and so many more have contributed their sometimes terrifying stories to the book to help you overcome your fear. So head to the lunaticfringepodcast.com. You're going to find the link to the book there, as well as the other books. It's available in ebook, paperback, hardback, and audiobook right now.
Coming straight from the cockpit, it's another episode of Lunatic Fringe with the fucking pilot.
Ready, set, go! Back in the can for another edition of Lunatic Fringe Into the Void. Only the second person ever to be in the studio, so welcome.
Thanks.
But who the fuck are you and what do you do?
Name's Simon Whittle from the UK, and now a professional skydiver in the Middle East.
Nice. So you jump out of airplanes for a living.
Exactly, yeah. Tandem video, do AFF as well now and then, and a little bit of free flight organising.
Nice.
Yeah.
So kind of the whole mix of everything.
Exactly.
I'd say cheers, but you can't drink. You got
Correct.
stuff going on. I bought you the beer. A skydiver that turns down beer, for fuck's sake. Well, I'm going to drink.
You drink away.
So, as is my normal with the show, I jump everybody back to the beginning of their skydiving career, how they got started, what they were interested in, and any other extreme sports that might have aimed you in that direction. So how did you get started in the sport?
Well, yeah, I used to do like skateboarding quite a lot and like mountain biking in the UK, like downhill and dirt jumping. But I'd always wanted to skydive, and then it was my 16th birthday. I got a tandem, and that was just like, yeah, this is awesome. I want to do this. Yeah.
And you did that in the UK?
That was in the UK, yeah.
Pretty hard place to become a skydiver, though, isn't it?
Correct, yeah. And because I chose to learn it while at university, it makes it even harder because that starts in September, which is the start of winter.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. So, at university, I joined the club, and it's massively subsidised in England for that. And I started doing the first jump with static line out of an Islander. I don't know if you remember that plane.
Yes. What is that?
I'm showing my age.
That's one of the only things slower than a Cessna at altitude, isn't it?
Horrible. But I didn't know any better, right?
Sure.
So everyone was like, oh, it's slow. I'm like, I don't know, I'm pretty excited about jumping out. So.
Right.
And then, started doing the static line. I got up to dummy pools. I think I didn't do my first free fall, though, because it went into winter and the weather was so bad. And I kind of got a bit bummed out by the whole thing. And then also because of university stuff, I didn't have any money or any of that.
Sure.
So I actually stopped doing it for a couple of years.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But then I joined, it's a thing called the University Air Squadron. So it's kind of like the RAF Voluntary Reserve.
Okay.
And they do free adventure training. And part of one of the stuff they did for free was skydiving course.
Really?
Yep. So very luckily, in my third year of university, I went to a military drop zone and finished the whole static line course there. Place called Neverhaven in the UK.
So the static line, I've had Junior on a number of times, and he used to be a static line instructor, and I know the basics behind it. But I'm a tandem kid, I mean, I did my first 3 jumps were tandem because I did the AFP program.
Okay.
Which was for me a super easy program. You do the tandems where you're pulling and you've got shit to perform, and of course, we know now as instructors that the student trying to do the turns and all that stuff doesn't do much, but he's doing the level. But the static line, how does that transition into, because just doing the delays, you're not really learning how to fly your body.
No, it's pretty crazy now. I don't know if anywhere still does static line.
I don't know.
But at the time, I think they just started doing AFF in the UK, but this was just the way people learn. It may have been a hangover just from the military time. But yeah, everything was just arch. And then you jump out and it opens for you, right? You know your emergency procedures. And then you have to do 2 stable exits, whatever that means, because you're on a static line.
Right.
And then you have to do 3 dummy pulls. So they put a fake ripcord. And then you have to pull it after like 1 second, I think it was, and do 3 in a row. But if you mess one up, you have to start again and do another 3.
Well, so you're doing a fake pull, but then the static line is still deploying.
Still
right?
pulling, but there's an instructor in the door, and he's like, "Oh, did he pull his chute in time? Did he look like he's panicking, or did he look like he actually did the proper thing?" But then from that to your first 3-second delay free fall, it felt completely different.
Yeah,
like completely different.
Well, and I would think mentally, just knowing, fuck, there's nothing's gonna open this time.
Yeah, it's really weird.
It has to be. I mean, I would equate it to being the difference between learning how to get your free fall skills up to speed now as opposed to when there were no wind tunnels.
Yeah.
I mean, it just seems the natural progression now is you're going to go learn some of the basics in a wind tunnel and then take it to the sky. But, I mean, wow.
Yeah, because I think from a safety, like, you could probably take someone with 0 training, close their eyes, and throw them out on a static line. It's going to be fine.
Yeah.
Like, the parachute's going to open. So I guess that was maybe their rationale, but it does not prepare you for free fall. So you do 3 seconds, then 5, and then you do 10 seconds with turns. And I just got into a mad spin because I'd never been in free fall. Luckily, it got stopped, and then I had to repeat that. But yeah, it's not the way to go, definitely.
Wow. So I mean, you get through that, and it always astounds me, someone that goes through, especially if it's an experience like that you continue on.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this is something I want to do, clearly, because it seems pretty freaky.
Yeah.
I mean, it's that it almost seems like that would be a great ad for not.
Well, they don't do it anymore. Maybe there's a reason.
Well, I think the training and the ability in flying and instructors has gone so high now.
Yeah, I think it's definitely changed a lot since. I mean, this was 2001, 2002.
A few years back.
So I'm not even sure if they do it anymore in the UK.
No.
Hopefully not.
Now, what did the family think of your starting skydiving?
Well, but I think my parents got it for my birthday, and they probably thought I'd take it up as just a hobby, and that was fine.
Sure.
And that was a hobby until 10 years ago. So at that point was fine, but I think now it's become my job. Maybe they regret buying that tandem. I don't know.
Now, you said you were in university. What were you studying?
Maths and physics. Yeah.
All right. I mean, I suppose you could find some parallels between math and physics and skydiving, but not in a practical sense.
I think the parallel is in the university club, it was a lot of nerdy kids who were like maybe wanting to do something to be cool. That was maybe the vibe.
Fair enough. Well, now, where were you going to take physics?
I had no idea.
Really?
I kind of knew I wanted to go to university, and I was good at maths and physics. So that's basically why I picked it.
It always astounds me, and I've said it a million times before on the podcast, the varied backgrounds of the people that I talk to with jumping. You just never know who's been doing what.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some astounding talent out there outside of skydiving that kind of chucked it all to go jump out of airplanes.
Crazy, right?
I mean, it really is, but it really is a testament to how cool skydiving is, yes, but it's also fucking addictive.
It is. There's an addictive property to it, definitely. And not only the actual jumping, but the lifestyle, I think, is addictive.
I think the lifestyle more than anything, right?
Yeah. It's the people, man. I've met such a wide range of people working in this industry.
Yes.
And lots of just interesting people.
Yes.
Who are happy.
Yeah.
Because I've done boring office jobs, and everyone's miserable.
It's the ones that are doing the trailer life 20 years into it and still digging every single jump and so dramatically happier than the friends that I have with the 5-bedroom, 4-bath houses. And
It's funny, right?
it's kind of funny how it all works out, and you kind of get a main line into what happy can really be, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, true.
It really is. It's I mean, granted, I know happiness is a state of mind, but yeah, sometimes it makes it a little easier to get into that state of mind with something like this.
Yeah, I can agree with that, definitely.
So you started out doing the static line stuff.
Yeah.
You somehow managed to keep going through
Scraped
that.
myself through the course.
Where did you take the sport from there for yourself?
So that was, the last year of university, got my A license, I think it was called, in the UK. And then the club was really fun. We had some really good friends there that I still talk to now. And we just go jump at the weekends, just do like cannonballs or donuts, nothing.
Sure.
Particularly
Those are the funnest jumps.
For sure. And then I think I did it a little bit after university. I think I got to jump like 60. And I just couldn't afford it anymore. And I had this dream of being this like badass skydiver. And I was like, it's just not going to happen. I can't afford it. Tunnels weren't a thing then.
Sure.
And I kind of gave up for a while. And I had to save up because I was doing my pilot's license. So it's like I need to do one of these things. I can't do both.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, and flying, especially in the UK, is mad expensive.
Yeah.
Fuel is through the fucking roof. I mean, what are you paying, or what were you paying per hour for a plane?
I think it was an R-22 helicopter.
Oh, Jesus, even more expensive.
£200-ish. Again, this was early 2000s.
An hour.
Yeah.
I mean, fuck, when I started getting my pilot's license many, many years ago, I was still paying, I want to say $50 or $60 an hour
that's crazy.
for a Cessna.
Wow.
And that's still a lot of money. I mean, but by today's standards, that's fucking cheap.
That is super cheap.
Yeah. Those flying dates are not what I had envisioned becoming a pilot. Never did.
No, I went there. Yeah.
So you had to pick jumping or flying, and you chose flying for a while?
Kind of, yeah. There's some other bits and pieces in there, but pretty much, yeah. And then the school I did it with had a deal. It was like if you did your PPL and your hour building there and your CPL, they would substitute that, help pay for it.
Okay.
And then you would work for them afterwards for free.
Sure.
Which is awesome because you guaranteed work, build up your hours, and also subsidises your training.
Yeah.
So I did that over the space of 2 or 3 years, while also doing some office jobs. I worked in a call centre for 6 months, cold calling people.
Really?
Yeah.
What were you selling?
It was like a data entry program, I think. I tried to wipe it from my memory, I think. But yeah, I remember sitting a few times like, what am I doing? But I was chasing the dream of being a pilot and stuff. So it is what it is.
Yeah.
And then eventually got the commercial license, and then that was my job for 4 years.
So you flew?
Yeah, flew helicopters.
What type of flying were you doing?
Jet Ranger. And I was flying tourist flights around Wales, which is in the UK, and people to horse races and business meetings and shit like that.
And you did that for 4 years?
Yeah, pretty much.
Did the shine wear off the penny, so to speak? Or?
Combination. So I think as most probably aspiring pilots, I'm like, sick air ambulance or search and rescue in the mountains and kind of get this thing, but it turns out that's actually quite hard to do.
Sure.
So a lot of it is ex-military for helicopter pilots.
Sure.
It's not impossible though. People do go that way. But I kind of hit a bit of a brick wall with my career, and then the financial crisis happened in the UK, and that really affected the helicopter flying that I was doing. People weren't paying for pleasure flights anymore. Business weren't paying for their people to go for meetings around whatever the UK, and kind of died down. So I had to that became part time, and then back to office jobs like data entry and all sorts of stuff.
Oh, yeah. Flying. I mean, I obviously over the years you get a lot of people asking what it's like, or they think because I'm not flying an airliner that I'm not a real pilot.
Oh yeah.
You know? Oh yeah.
That's funny.
What type of flying do you? Oh, I fly skydivers. Oh, so but like, can you get a license to fly the big planes? Same
Amazing.
license. Same license. But it's you go into it thinking one thing, and then you get into the thick of things and find out that this is not what I expected. I mean, even at my experience level now, to try and shift into a different type of flying and go proper airline would take me years just to be considered hireable. I'm not qualified right now.
Wow.
I go up and down over the same place. I don't go anywhere.
Yeah.
So it's tough, right? And especially after a financial crisis when nobody wants to pay for the toys.
Yeah, exactly.
Fucking hell.
And aviation's such a right time, right place kind of thing. If you ride the right waves, it can be an awesome career. And I did have a lot of fun flying. Sure. But it was just a few things added together and it kind of started going downhill.
Now, when did you decide it was time to go back to jumping?
Well, so actually, I was when looking for a part-time job. I started working at an outdoor assault course. A bit like Go Ape. I don't know if you have that in America. It's like in the trees, whatever. Sure. So I used to rock climb a bit. Cool. So I was doing that. And then my friend Mike, who I used to skydive with, Mike Brigg, he got a job at the new wind tunnel in Manchester. Oh. And I didn't know anything about wind tunnels. Right. I'd kind of pushed skydiving aside. I missed it, but almost didn't want to talk about it. In denial that I'd let my dream go, whatever. Yep. But the place in Manchester was actually really close to where I was working. So I went there one lunchtime. He said, come die. And me and Mike grew up skydiving together, so we were kind of the same. We barely couldn't sit fly. And then I go there and I see him doing a demo and he's flying around head down, and it blew my mind because I didn't know anything about wind tunnels. Right. And I was like, I fucking need to... Sorry, can I swear?
No, you can cuss as much as you want.
I was just like... I don't know if jealousy is the right word, but I was like, fuck, this is what I wanted to be doing. Sure. And it's like, singular goal is I am going to be a tunnel instructor because I have a lot of spare time. I need a part-time job. Sure. Sorry, helicopter was part-time fly. I need a full-time job. Sure. And that was like the spark to right, I'm going to do this right now. That's awesome. Well, it's funny when you see somebody that you were coming up with, or the same basic generation, doing all the things that you thought you were going to do. And it's, I don't know if jealousy is the right word. It's a mix of love and hatred all at the same time. I was stoked for him. Yeah. I was like, that's awesome, dude, but... Exactly. And it's very difficult to break that down, that you're so proud of someone that they've got these amazing achievements, but you kind of want them to hit the wall too, because you're like, fuck me, man. I should be doing that. I felt like I could, because we were both very similar in our skill level. I was like, I know I can do that if Mike can do it. Yeah. But I'm doing a job I don't like that much. Sure. Well, I had somebody equate learning how to fly well in the tunnel, because I'm not a great tunnel flyer, to learning how to play an instrument, like a guitar. And they say, well, yeah, you're pissed off that you can't fly like that, but do you have any idea how much time this guy or girl has put into learning how to fly like that? And it instantly made my flying like shit be fun. Yeah. Oh yeah, no, I suck because I have next to no time in the real tunnels, so this is entertaining now. Yeah. You know. So you decided that was it. That was it. You went after it. Yeah, but that's a good point you say, because I think a lot of people, if you're a good flyer and then you say you're a tunnel instructor, like, oh, you just worked in a tunnel, they don't see, because there's a lot of tunnel instructors that aren't that amazing at flying. Sure. It's not that they're not talented. They're good instructors. They're just not bothered. Yeah. But the guys who you see are really good in the tunnel, they are committed to flying as much as they can, paying for time to filming everything, watching the debrief, like just studying all the coaches and soaking it up. Yeah. So anyone who's a good flyer, even whatever their job was, you should be like, okay, good. You have to be that dedicated, or you're not going to get there. And you have to have respect for that level. It's not given to you. No. Free tunnel time? Yes. It's as different a type of flying as airline flying is to jump flying. Yeah. It's just a different kind of flying. And yes, a lot of the skills from the tunnel translate well into the sky, and some vice versa. But if you're a great skydiver, you're not necessarily going to be a good tunnel flyer, and the same way around. Yeah. So you got to earn it. For sure. Definitely. Yeah. And those guys, I mean, the dedication. Now, anyone who's like the super good ninjas, they put a lot of effort in to get that good. Guys like Raph, for fuck's sake. He's ninja, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I swear to God, I think he can eat, sleep, and shit in the tunnel and just keep on going. He's a monster. One of the best, for sure. One of the best in the world, and there's a reason for it. Yeah. So, what did you
Did you hunt them down? They were working. You managed to.
So I spoke to. I think I went downstairs that day or the next day and spoke to John, the manager, because Mike was like, "Oh, I'll introduce you," and I spoke to him, and he's a really nice guy, John Rogers. But he said, "Yeah, we haven't got any places at the moment." Okay, no problem. Here's my CV, and then every month, I think first or second, I can't remember exactly when it was. Once a month, I'd be like, "Hey, have you got any job?" And I bothered him for a year. And then eventually John was like, "Look, I think he had enough of me." He's like, "Hey, there's a position on reception. I don't know if you're interested." I was like, "Yes, I am 100% interested." So then they trained me up on reception, and I just worked there for 3 months. And while we're doing that, we used to get staff flying for like non-instructors twice a week. Used to go to that all the time and just like loved it, every second of it. And then 3 months after I started there, a guy called Adam left, and they were like, "Hey, you want to become an instructor?" I'm like, "Yes."
Yes,
100%.
absolutely.
Yeah.
That was, I just had Ray Kubiak on for the second time around.
Okay, nice.
So Ray, anybody that knows Ray, if you didn't watch that episode, watch that episode. Fucking dude is hilarious, and he's also just this incredible OG flyer.
Yeah.
But he said the same thing. He went into Flyaway in Las Vegas because a friend of his worked there and went to try and get a job and showed up in some like disco suit and tie to get the job, and they hired him for the front desk, and that same day he's like, "I don't want to do this. I want to work as an instructor."
Yeah.
Same fucking thing.
Yeah.
So he pushed his way in there as well.
That's
now,
it.
the modern instructor training is pretty hardcore, isn't it?
Yeah, and it used to be more hardcore.
Really?
Yeah, they've calmed it down a bit now. So I did mine right at the end of what I thought was too hard. It used to be basically beating people up for like a month in the tunnel, pretty much. I mean, you'd get good instructors afterwards who are very strong and good at spotting.
Sure.
But it was too much. And then now it's much better. Like, it's hard training because you got to be fit, and it is pretty dangerous. It's a hurricane in a tube, and you got to put yourself on the line. If you take like, I don't know, like some old woman in there, pretty frail.
Yep.
Need to be willing to like get in the way and catch them and stuff like that.
Sure.
So the training is really good. It's like a month, and we used to do it overnight. So I'd do that, and I'd also work reception at the weekends, which was just killer, but I had to because I had to pay rent, whatever.
Yeah, you got to get it done.
Yeah, and then qualified as instructor, and then the next day I did a reception shift, even though I was a qualified instructor, and then I started being an instructor, and it was awesome. I loved every second of it.
Now that was, correct me if I'm wrong, but the rating starts out as you're taking people off the street initially, and then you get more and more qualifications to learn how to work with flyers.
Exactly.
Nice.
Yeah, it's changed a bit now, but when I did it, I was a level 1 instructor, so first timers, and teach belly and back fly.
Okay.
It's kind of funny because I could barely back fly myself. They changed that a bit now. So.
Did you find that teaching improved your own skills?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and the course is like a lot of the course isn't flying; it's walking, because your job is to like be solid on the net.
Right.
Because if you're not on the net, if you're flying, there's not that much you can do. Where if someone like flips upside down up high, you need to be able to get there, catch them, and be strong on your feet.
Sure.
So loads of walking, lots of drills, moving around the tunnel fast, lots of catching, and that's kind of the bread and butter of instructor.
The walking, I'll fly in the modern tunnels now, and I'll have a lot of fun, and I can get up on my head and from the net and sit fly. Yeah. And I'm fine in all of that. Yeah. And if I cork, I can recover. I can fly on my back, so it doesn't matter how bad that is. That's fine. It's the getting out the fucking door. Every single time. Okay, do you see the lights going and they're waving at you? And I'm like, here's where I'm going to fuck it up again. And I've done backflips into the wall.
Yeah, man.
Everything you can think of, just trying to get out the fucking door.
Door's a dangerous place. Most of the accidents I've seen have been there.
Yeah, because you get confident and you make that step without thinking about what it's going to do. And that really teaches you that every little movement you make in that tunnel has an effect.
And man, you've been walking for however many years it was, and you go in there, you got to do it the exact opposite. Yeah. You want to go forward, you got to lean back.
Yes.
So when you're like, oh shit, the lights are flashing, I've got to get out, you reach for the door, lean forward, every time. Boom.
So
sure you've
funny.
done it. I've done it.
Of course. And seen it. Well, that's one of the funny things too, is you see the really experienced flyers still every once in a while fuck something up.
For sure. Yeah. I hit the wall now and then. Happens.
You don't go to the race to watch him go around in circles. You watch him hit the wall. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
So now, when did it transition back into skydiving as well?
So yeah, I think I was working at the tunnel. From what I remember, I got my instructor rating, I think it was March or April. And then I actually worked, I think, for almost a whole year before we started jumping again.
Okay.
And I think I did a year, so I could fly head down and stuff. And then Mike was like, we should go skydive now, because you haven't jumped for 8 years, I think it was.
Oh,
Maybe
wow.
7 years.
Wow.
And we'll go out and we'll do a head down jump first. I was like, all right. So we went back to our home drop zone, Cark, in the plane with a massive rig. I'm not sure they knew what we were going to do.
Right.
But yeah, we just hucked the head down, exit out, and we just carved around on the heads, and it was like a daydream. I was like, I can't believe this. This was the dream, and I've not skydived at all to get here. It was like,
Isn't that crazy,
awesome.
though?
It is crazy, and it felt fine. It was awesome.
There's part of me, and I've used this analogy before, that jumps back to the old skier versus snowboarder. I hate those fucking guys. Get off my mountain. You're destroying my moguls and all that stuff. And then the raw appreciation for being able to do something like that. And again, it kind of clicked when I realized how much goes into becoming a good tunnel flyer.
Yeah.
And it took a little of the sting out of the fact that some guy with 50 jumps just outflew me.
Yeah, yeah.
And I've got thousands of jumps at the time.
Yeah.
But when you break it down to 1 minute at a time, he's up there in jump-wise. You know?
Yeah.
At 10,000 jumps, if somebody with 3,000 jumps came out and free flew me, it wouldn't bother me that much because you'd assume that's all they did. But when you got 10,000 jumps and somebody with 200 jumps comes and shreds you, you're like, look, motherfucker, this shit's not cool. But then you realize, you get it to fly in the modern tunnels and realize, okay, no, an incredible amount goes into learning how to fly well in the tunnels.
And there's crossover on so rock climbing. There used to be no indoor rock climbing, so you would cut your teeth outside. And these guys who are like gnarly and strong took a lot of time to get there. Now you see like a 15-year-old kid who's been in the gym for 5 years, who's way stronger than I'll ever be.
Yeah.
And I could catch myself being like, this motherfucker. But then I'm like, hang on a sec, that's exactly what I did.
Yeah.
It's exactly what I did.
Yeah.
And there'll be something when I'm older that the skydivers do that we don't do now. And I'll be like, man, I wish I had that.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, bastards.
Yep. Well,
It's just, that's our life, eh?
For sure. Well, and the biggest favor I did for myself is realizing that it's not only okay to suck, it's fun. Yeah. I like knowing that chances are I'll be the one to fuck up the skydive we just planned, because it takes the pressure off. Now I just get to go have fun. Nobody's looking to me to lead anything. As long as I'm safe, whatever.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't. So you go out and you make this jump.
Yeah.
And obviously you're doing quite well with that. Now, when did you decide, all right, I'm going to do both? Now it's time to get back into jumping and putting gear together and...
Not a huge amount. I wasn't getting paid a great deal in the tunnel. That's just the way it is.
Sure.
And I lived in Manchester. The rent wasn't super cheap. So I didn't jump that much. We went to Spain once, skydive Spain, like 4 or 5 of us from the tunnel. I did like my 100th jump there, I remember. I was about to take off. I had 99 jumps. And they were like, oh, it's a 100 jump limit. I was like, well, technically, when I jump out, it's my 100th jump. So that means that's okay. And it was Mishka was there. She's like, yeah, but do you think that's sensible? I was like, all right, Mishka. So I didn't jump.
That's actually pretty good, though.
Yeah, no, it is. I was just being a bit cocky. But yeah, the next day I did my 100th jump. And then I think I got up to about 120 jumps. And I've been in the tunnel 2.5 years. But the weather's awful in England. The amount of times I went to a drop zone and didn't jump.
Sure.
And I could fly in the tunnel like any weather, any time.
Sure.
Used to get, I think it was £30 for 10 minutes. So it's pretty cheap.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Just go buy time. Fly
Yeah,
around.
for sure.
So yeah, I didn't jump that much in the UK actually. I probably got less than 100 jumps in England.
That doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
That's why so many fucking Brits end up in the States working.
Yeah.
That's when I first discovered how many illegal alien British there are running around the United States when I got into skydiving, and all of them were like looking for wives or this or that.
Yeah.
That's fucking funny.
Yeah.
So what'd you do? You decided it was time to move on from England?
So I was doing full-time tunnel and then part-time helicopter flying. And then my friend Mikey Davey, he moved. So he was actually... to the Middle East, my bad. Back in the day, the first tunnel in the Middle East, it used to actually be run by Airkicks, the company I worked for.
Okay.
And their instructors would come out for 6 months at a time. And Mikey was one of those instructors. So back in the day when that was happening, he knew all the people here. And then they kind of got a choice. I think they got offered, right, you can stay here. Airkicks isn't going to run it anymore. We're going to run it ourselves. Or you can go back to England and do that. And he went back to the UK to be the manager or assistant manager in Manchester.
Okay.
But I think he regretted that, and he was friends with one of the guys out here, and he eventually managed to get his job back here.
Nice.
So then he was working here, and then I came to visit him on holiday, and it was similar to when I saw Mike in the tunnel. I was like, wow, this place is pretty cool.
Nice.
Huge tunnel.
Yes.
Staff were cool.
Yep.
And yeah, the guy Freddie, the boss, was like, hey man, I kind of want to work here. I had an impromptu interview right there. And then, yeah, he said, no, there's no spaces. And funnily enough, a month after I got back, someone quit. And he said, hey, look, do you want to come out in a month? And then he said, don't tell me now, think about it, because it meant giving up helicopter flying. I didn't know much about aviation here, but I was under the impression it'd probably be quite difficult to carry on the flying here.
Sure.
So that was a bit of a toss-up. But I remember my dad was saying, let's go, at least for a year. If you don't like it, come back. But you'll kick yourself if you don't try.
Of course. Of course. Well, and I mean, flying is so weird nowadays anyway, even for, established pilots all around the world, especially with COVID and everything that's going on.
I can imagine.
Having a career in aviation is pretty difficult. But, I mean, how old are you?
36 now.
So still young, for fuck's sake. I mean, if you want to go back to flying, if you want to go back to flying, you've got years before you need to really start thinking, I need to go back in that direction. So why the fuck wouldn't you, take gigs around the world and start working that way? Yeah. Now, when did you worked in the tunnel in the Middle East and then decided you were obviously jumping more?
Yeah, so we used to get, I think it was, 5 jumps a week for free at the drop zone, which is crazy, working in the tunnel, getting free skydives. Sure. So I used to just start doing that. And it would just completely change when it's sunny and warm. I'd only ever jumped in not very good weather and was used to sitting at the drop zone for hours. Sure. So it was a complete mental shift. And I was like, yeah, you want to do 7 jumps a day? Like, really? And then everyone here was so good and nice. Like, there was so many sky gods here. Right. But no arrogance. They were just super stoked to help. And I was like, I can't not jump here. I've got all these people around. Sure. And they'd come fly in the tunnel, then I'd come jump in the sky, and I'd just jumped as much as I could while working in the tunnel.
Oh, you can't beat that.
Yeah.
Well, and with the rock stars that you'd have access to, I mean, guys like Omar jumping all the time. And Olaf Zipser was here for quite a while.
Yeah, the OGs.
Absolutely. The originals, and then Team Airwax coming through all the time, and the current world fucking champions at the time coming through. And I mean, how do you not, take advantage of that talent if you can?
Yeah. I remember excited. I was getting a lift to the tunnel with Noah Banson. I had no idea who he was. So he's giving me a lift. He's like, I said, you jump? I was like, yeah, I do. And I was like, you jump a bit? He's like, yeah, I jump a bit. Just super mellow. And then we started about base jumping. I didn't know anything about him. Yeah. And I was like, have you base jumped? He's like, yeah, I've done a bit. I kind of like it, yeah. And he was so cool about it. Because he could have been, yeah, I've done all, you don't know me, blah, blah, blah. Right. But he was so chilled, and then I found out later who he was. That's awesome.
Isn't that funny?
Yeah, well, it's great though.
Well, and I think they also kind of know that somebody's going to clue him in on that. We had a ground crew person that didn't know who Omar Al-Hijalan was. Okay. And I'm like, well, that's Omar. Well, yeah, who's Omar? Really? You don't know who? Everything you've ever done in skydiving, he was part of the crew that came up with that shit. I'm like, that's him. Yeah. He didn't look that old. He's not that old, but neither is the sport. Yeah. I mean, the sport's pretty fucking young, really. So, I mean, so base jumping, you ended up getting into that as well.
Yeah, that had been a dream since, that was part of the reason to get into skydiving. I used to always watch people who my generation will know skydivingmovies.com. You remember that? Yeah. So there wasn't YouTube. Oh, show my age. But yeah, you could go there and watch cool base jumping videos. And it was Jeb Corrales, Paint It Black, and A Year in the Life. Those 2 videos just were that is so cool. I just want to do that. And when I started jumping a lot more here and I was surrounded by a lot of base jumpers, it's okay, this feels like maybe this is the right time to get into base jumping. Nice. And then, me and Matt Munton actually did our first jumps together at Brento.
Really? Yeah. Really? See, that's bizarre.
Yeah.
Again, that ties in how tight the sport is and how small the community is, too, because Munting now is fucking him and Scalabrino are rock stars.
Well, we were, me and Matt, plus Danny Roman and a guy called Ryan Dudridge were on a dynamic 4-way tunnel team at In-Flight Dubai. So we used to go around doing these competitions. Sure. And then one of the competitions, because with In-Flight Dubai at the time, you couldn't get more than 2 instructors off at once. Right. But we could get 4 off because we were going to a competition. So sometimes we're like, the flight's a bit late or whatever, and extend it a few days. So after the first competition in Russia, we went, all of us, to Brento. And Danny had jumped before, but yeah, me, Ryan, and Matt, it was our first jumps in Brento.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was sick.
Well, and Brento's kind of gauged in the base jumping world towards learning, yeah?
Yeah, like there's different schools of thought whether you should do a first jump there or not. Maybe we shouldn't have, but yeah, we learned to pack in Dubai, and then yeah, it probably was a tiny bit risky, but got away with it.
Well, it's fucking base jumping.
Yeah, true.
I mean, there was a time not all that long ago when just the idea of base jumping itself was crazy, and now there's a safe way to do it. Yeah, I mean, the first time I saw base tandems, I almost lost my shit.
Man, that's crazy.
I don't know how you guys feel about it. I don't know how I feel about that. I really don't. I mean, base jumping is an individual choice, and I know the passenger's making that choice as well, but if they're not a jumper, do they really have the information they need to make an informed decision?
Yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about that either.
I don't know. I mean, my opinion doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
So more power to them, you know.
I think as long as they're honest with the customer, what they're getting into, then it's all good.
This shit could go sideways really fucking
But if
quick.
there's any like dishonesty, no, it's super safe, it's totally safe, then that's when it's not cool.
Yeah, well, that was always the thing, right? Even in skydiving, when I started shooting tandem videos and then doing tandems in the late 90s, it was, if anybody asks you if this is dangerous, your answer is, fuck yes, it's dangerous. People die all the time doing this. Yes, because I don't want, nothing's coming back. And this is back when there were a couple of pretty big tests to the waiver in regard to lawsuits and such. Oh, yeah, big time. So it was, you were bluntly honest. Yes, people die. Yes, I know people that have died.
Wow.
Yeah.
Doing tandems?
Well, yeah, you wouldn't. So they'd ask, has a tandem died? No, a tandem hasn't died.
Okay.
Your odds are this. But yes, skydiving is dangerous.
But
People
you were saying
die.
that to the tandem passengers?
Absolutely.
Wow.
Absolutely. Because it was the same thing, right? If you're getting ready to do a tandem base, that person really should have all the information.
Yep.
Statistically, here you go.
Yeah.
This is what could happen. Because I don't know too many people that get into base jumping that don't know.
Yeah. Hopefully not.
This shit's pretty sketchy.
Yeah.
You know? Obviously, it went well. You're sitting here.
Yeah. Survived.
Yep. So you how many base jumps do you have now?
Like 150-ish, maybe.
That's a lot of base jumps, though.
Yeah, and that was a lot of that was just in a couple of seasons. So we did that time in Brento, we did 4 jumps, all slick, and then that summer back in the tunnel, and then we would all bought cruise suits, like a one-piece tracking suit, and then we jumped that loads at the desert, and got good at that. And then the next season, that summer, we went to Brento again. Few slick jumps, and then we started jumping the cruise, and I think I did 60 jumps in like a couple of months. Just
Jesus.
Yeah, Brento and then Ladderbrunnen. You can do like 6 or 7 a day at Ladderbrunnen.
Yeah, I've been
Easy.
told. I've been told it's like a ski
Yeah.
lift.
It's crazy. You just buy one pass for a month, and then just up and down, up and down.
That's just so crazy.
Yeah, it was crazy.
It's awesome, though. I mean, especially coming from the States where it's so restrictive and there's so few places to legally do it. And it's a lot like drugs. They don't seem to understand that making it more restrictive just makes it more dangerous. It really does, because now people are going to have to they're going to do it. It's the same fucking thing.
Yep.
They're going to do it anyway. You're just making it more difficult and hence more dangerous.
Yeah.
I mean, they had the one guy years and years and years ago, that Frank was his name, that base jumped El Cap, landed and was getting chased by
that story,
and
yeah.
drowned.
Yeah.
What a fucking stupid way to die,
Yeah.
when it should have just been hey, waving at the Rangers as you're gathering your stuff up.
Yeah.
It's just ridiculous. So it's unfortunate that it's pushed to that level, because it's still got this stigma behind it, and people climb and die in the valley all the goddamn time.
Yeah.
Climbing is just as dangerous in my opinion.
It can be.
Yeah.
Like for sure, some types of climbing. Like free soloing when you're without ropes, that's probably similar to how base jumping is to skydiving.
Yeah.
You can climb reasonably safely, as you can skydive reasonably safely.
Yeah.
But free solo is it's like base jumping. It's pretty dangerous.
Yeah, skydiving now, honestly, you try and tell people and they'll ask how dangerous is it, and you, as a longtime skydiver, the standard everyday gonna go out and skydive heads up jumper is pretty fucking safe.
Yeah.
Really is.
And the gear's as good as it's gonna get. Maybe now it's amazing.
God. Well, and now the innovations that they come up with. I've had a lot of the NZ Aerosports crew on. talking about designing the canopies and
Yeah.
stuff and how much further can they go. And Julian's like, long way.
Yeah.
So part of me is terrified to see what they fucking come up with next,
Yeah.
because it's already nerve-wracking watching modern canopies coming down.
Yeah, they're crazy.
Oh my God. And when you see someone on a proper swoop from a distance and the canopy and the pilot are just at the same angle going
Yeah,
balls
man.
out, that's some insane stuff.
Yeah, it's full on.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, but still, so you kind of went old school as well recently. You were strapping a board to your
I
feet.
did. I started sky surfing for some reason.
Fucking hell. What spurred that interest?
I wish I could remember. I think it was a TV advert at some point as a kid. I don't know. I don't remember exactly, but I just always thought, man, that just looks really cool. And I used to skateboard a lot, so maybe that was also part of it.
Sure.
And snowboard. It's like, yeah, I can do the board sports. I might as well take it
Sure.
into the sky kind of thing.
Sure.
And yeah, I didn't have an avenue into it, but I actually sold a canopy in the UK. Yeah, that's right. I remember now. I sold a canopy to a guy called Dave in the UK, and he came to pick it up. And we were just chatting, and he used to be a Skysurfer.
Oh.
I was like, I always wanted to get into that. And he's like, well, dude, I've got an old board I don't use. If you want to come round to my house sometime, I'll show you the board, and I can give you some tips and all this kind of stuff.
Really?
Yeah, so I was like, you know what? Sometimes that comes your way.
Sure.
So yeah, I went to his house, and it was a big board. It was like this big on the video, yeah.
Yeah.
Carbon fiber thing, but it had the bindings on, like the DAC iron bindings.
Sure.
And he gave me this little CD of like how to sky surf and some webbed gloves.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we chatted a lot. And he was like, this is too big, but told me how to build a board.
Sure.
And put the bindings on. And I was like, I could build a board, and then I used to get free tunnel time in the Middle East tunnels. So I was like, I'll just go fly in the tunnel.
Sure.
Loads. Because there's no sky
Surf.
surf coaches,
Yeah.
as far as I could find in the Middle East. So yeah, he gave me this board, and I left, and then I came back home, and got a piece of wood, cut out a rough shape, which I thought was about the right size. And so on my research, which was hard to find actually,
Sure.
a lot of it was you should have your feet like duck style for the first one, because then you can pull on your belly.
Sure.
I don't know why I decided not to do that. I did it this way straight away, but not on a very big board, like a wooden one.
Right.
Maybe this much past the toe and the heel. I was like, sweet, got all the bindings, got it all sorted, and then went to the wind tunnel with it. And man, I scared the shit out of me. I was there with Kai
Okay.
in the private tunnel, and so wind off, went in on the net, and was like, okay, start turning it up, and there's like, oh my god, it's like a wild animal on your feet. And then the sit wasn't too bad.
Sure.
I was like, okay, this is okay. As soon as I went on my back, it was like someone holding my ankles, throwing me around. Man, ever since, I have mad respect for anyone with 200 jumps.
Oh, yeah.
Who jumped one of those things.
Yep.
Like, that's gnarly.
Yep.
That is gnarly. I flew in the tunnel at least an hour or two before I even thought about taking it out of the plane.
Isn't that cool? Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
My
I was trying to use my tunnel, what I'd learned of how it completely changed my skydiving.
Sure.
Like, maybe I can apply this in some way to, like, I can't, like, the how to open and all that kind of stuff, but just
Sure.
the physical flying the board, if I can just tick that off in my head,
Sure.
then I can leave the plane more confident, and
Of
then
course. Of
probably,
course.
like, be in a better
At least
position.
have it dialed in, at least so you kind of know what's coming up feeling wise. You're gonna have
Yeah.
a general idea. That's
Yeah.
that's how my Skysurf partner back in '95 she started jumping the board, but we were both tunnel instructors at Flyaway.
Ah, cool.
So she would fly the board in Flyaway.
Ah, nice.
She had a bit of an advantage because obviously she's much smaller and lighter, so the board
Yeah.
gave her enough lift. But she was webbed gloves and a sit jacket to do it.
Wow.
And by the time she jumped the board for the first time ever, I think she probably had, I want to say, less than 200 jumps.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, less than 200 jumps. And when she and I competed in '96 in the Nationals, I think she was jumping, I don't know if she was jumping her Surf Light or a Tom Stanton, but a proper board. And we took the silver.
Oh, yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And she had, I think both of us had less than 350 jumps at the time.
I've seen an old YouTube video of you and her. What's her name?
Mary
Mary,
Tortomasi.
you and Mary, yeah. Yeah. When I
From-
was Googling Skysurf, I found it.
Yeah, it's very strange.
That's
Very,
awesome.
very strange. It was super cool, but it was
Yeah.
really neat, and it's still very neat to see people that are bringing the board back out and jumping it. I think I've seen Sean McCormick doing a few jumps on
Yeah,
it.
some
and-
really nice videos of him
Man,
jumping.
I mean, McCormick, for fuck's sake. I think he's kind of what broke the sport.
Oh, yeah?
He came up with the Invisible Man, which was
Okay.
such an intense fucking move
Yeah.
that it was, you need to be willing to do this move to score points, or you're kind of out of the running anymore. And it just kind of took it next level. You know,
some of them were duct taping their arms and stuff to stop
Sean McCormick, the first time he did the Invisible Man, and when he came out of it, he had to obviously extend his arms to stop the spin, and he just blew out all the blood vessels in his hands and was blowing out the blood vessels in his eyes and stuff, and so he could barely feel the handle when he went to pull. So he was duct taping his arms so that he wouldn't blow everything out.
I heard that, and I thought it was a joke, but
no,
multiple sources.
Yeah, pretty hardcore. So when you're duct taping body parts to compete, And Tanya and Craig O'Brien, who were arguably the best team ever to Skysurf, kind of did a little bit different, and they had such finesse that she didn't have to do these insane moves. She just did all the moves she did with such style and made it so fucking easy in these flawless transitions, but the spins weren't so fast that you were hurting yourself. So kind of took it next.
Nice.
So how did you start instructing in the sport?
In skydiving?
Yeah.
So, we were working in the tunnel, and then there was a bit of a problem with the whole organisation, basically. There's budget cuts.
Sure.
So they got rid of a lot of staff at the tunnel. They've unfortunately had to let go half the instructors. They did it in a nice way. They didn't want to do it.
Sure.
But because I was one of the higher paid ones, I think 5 of us lost our jobs straight away.
Ouch.
Yeah. So then I was like, oh man, what am I going to do now? Because it was no idea this was coming. It was just an email the day before, coming for a meeting tomorrow morning.
Right.
And then I was like, this can't be it. And then I think I spoke to the HR lady who I knew, and she's like, yeah, I think you guys are going to get fired.
Oh, jeez.
Just completely out of the blue. So like, spun me a bit.
Sure.
And then I was like, man, I don't know what to do. And then I got 2 things happened. I got to the desert drop zone. They heard. And they said, well, look, maybe we can get you your tandem rating here, and then you can work for us for free doing tandems.
Sure.
And then maybe something will come up. But everything was so fluid at the time with people losing their jobs and teams that it's no guarantee.
Sure.
But my part of when I got fired, my visa was still valid for 3 months. It's like, well, worst case, I'll stay here, do my tandem rating, and see what else kind of comes up.
Sure.
So did that, and then started doing tandems at the drop zone just for free, just to get experience. And at the same time, I had a friend who works in Australia for Perth wind tunnel. And they needed a chief instructor, and they said, do you want to maybe come out and do this?
Oh, wow.
And then I really thought about it, because that's, it's good for my career.
Sure.
And then I had this job, right, should I maybe get in a job doing tandems, but maybe not, or take this guaranteed job in Perth? So head was like, well, Perth. But heart was like, I like skydiving.
Sure.
So I actually turned down the Perth job before I had a guaranteed job. And then luckily, at the other drop zone, they hired me and Matt Munton.
Nice.
We went for a team interview. So we went there to that film, I can't remember what it's called, Big Brother or something?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
So we went there together for the interview, and the boss was like, so you guys, we come as a pair, so you're going to hire kind of both of us. None of us. And we had like 30 tandems.
Really?
Yeah. But this is a good sign for why you shouldn't ever burn bridges. So when we lost the job, like, we were really annoyed. And it's very tempting to shout at the bosses, oh, you suck, blah, 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 I hate you. But there's never any point. It's not their choice to do it. It's just the way it is. So when we got the job, before we got the job, the boss rang our old boss from the tunnel, because they're best friends, which I didn't know. And they said, hey, Matt and Simon are here. Should we hire them? And the guy, very thankfully, he's like, yeah, they're really good instructors. You should hire these guys. But if we'd have told that guy to fuck off, he would have said, don't hire him.
Yeah.
Because of him, they hired us with like 30 tandems. But they would never normally hire someone with that little amount of tandems. But we've been jumping at the Middle East for ages, so we knew everyone. We've been jumping to the desert. They knew us, they knew in the tunnel. So kind of worked out in the end. And then started. That was 5 years ago, December 1st.
How crazy is that?
5 years ago.
And then now, I'm assuming thousands of tandems later, and
I think I had 1,000 jumps when I started. I have 8,000 now.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, crazy.
Man, that goes fast.
Very fast, and that's with a big break this year in 2020 too.
That's this sport too, though. It's such a small sport. If you nurture relationships instead of burning bridges, it goes an awfully long way. Yeah, awfully long way.
Because you never know, and it is a small community. And like I told you, it's easy, right? When I got fired, it was like I was emotional and annoyed, and you want to avenge that on someone.
Sure.
But they don't want to do it.
No.
It's just they've been told from wherever to do it, and it's like, yeah.
The only time in this sport I ever benefited from having a shit reputation from somebody was a guy by the name of Eddie Carroll in Vegas decided he didn't like me anymore. And I didn't fucking much care for him. And I was trying to get a job at Cross Keys. Yeah. And John Eddowes, by the way, for everybody watching, it was really sad to hear that John Eddowes passed. And condolences to the family and everybody. It was, I don't know if you knew John.
No, I didn't know.
Jesus Christ, this guy built the drop zone that was,
oh, yeah?
It will either be pleasant memories or haunt me for the rest of my life. It was that epic.
Yeah.
But he got a call from Eddie Carroll. Or pardon me, he called Eddie Carroll asking, hey, what do you think of this guy? And Eddie's like, don't ever fucking hire that guy. he's a piece of shit, blah, blah, blah. And John ended the call by saying, cool, thanks, I'm going to hire him right away.
Oh, yeah?
And this is the only reason he hired me
Amazing.
is because Eddie Carroll said, fucking don't hire that
Yeah.
guy. So thanks, Eddie. Appreciate that. Yeah.
Funny, hey?
But for the most part, yes, you've got to nurture those relationships. It's just such a fucking small community that works in this sport.
Yeah, and that's like I tried so hard to get that job at the tunnel.
Yeah.
And I remember because, so I think 3 months after I got my instructor rating, they needed 5 new instructors.
Mm.
And they got some of the guys in. I was chatting to one of them, how'd you get this job? He was like, I was just walking by and I saw they said help wanted. And I just walked in and he got offered the job the week later. I was like, God, I hate you. You got no idea what I went through to get the job. But that's awesome.
For sure. No, it really is. And that's the other thing too is you enjoy seeing people get breaks as long as it's a good person. You know
exactly,
what I mean?
yeah. And we got a big break to get the job at the Palm.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of people probably thought that wasn't a good idea with the amount of experience we had.
Yeah, shit goes either way, man. I've seen really, really extremely experienced people shit the bed and do a horrible job, and then I've seen low timers that are working so much harder to make sure that they do it right.
Yeah.
So it's kind of it depends on the type of person that you get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they knew us on a personal level. We got on with everyone already.
It's a huge deal.
And then they knew we were good at what we did.
Yeah.
And
well, that's the thing. If you're going to mix well with the team, most of the stuff you need done is fixable if they're not up to par.
Yeah.
Most of it. But if they don't work well with the team, then it doesn't matter how good they are. It's not going to work.
True.
So,
yeah, agree.
So I always ask people towards the end of every interview, and especially in your case because you've had so many different angles to getting into things. How do you recommend for first-time jumpers that are jumping and thinking about trying to get into the sport working-wise, what do you recommend they should be thinking about? Yeah. And for people that are kind of hitting that burnout phase and wondering if they should keep jumping, what advice do you give to them?
I think, for new people, if you want to work in the sport, you've always got to be a bit cautious if it's like your main hobby, working in your hobby. It can sometimes take away from that. So that's something you need to think about. But jump as much as you can. Like, talk to people who are experienced, who've been working in the industry. And I think camera and AFF is a good way to start.
Sure.
And don't be in a rush. Like, enjoy the early skydives. That's the best part.
Yeah.
Like, if you can afford just to do it for fun, do that for a while.
Yeah.
Before you get into working in the industry.
Cool.
And if you're getting burnt out, get a Skysurfer.
That seems to
That'll
be
wake you up.
The best advice people give is, if you're getting burned out, try something different.
Yeah,
and
totally.
Skysurfing is definitely different.
Or have like a break. I had a forced break in 2020.
Sure.
10 months I didn't jump. And it was good. It did me good in the end.
For sure. For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I took quite a substantial break and didn't start jumping again until junior asked me to go make a fun jump, and the idea of it made me nervous.
Yeah.
I'm like, ooh, skydive?
Yeah.
I had fucking, 10,000 jumps at the time, and I'm like, oh, fuck, that actually makes me kind of nervous. It must be time to go back and jump again.
Yeah.
And then I became an average level fun jumper, and that's all I ever want to be.
Nice.
Which is great. You just go out and, fuck, this is just fun again.
Yeah.
I
I had to adjust that because I used to have to do the sickest jump, but now I can just go and do, as long as I'm just doing a jump, it doesn't matter what it is, I'm having fun. It's
absolutely.
great. I don't need to be doing the badass angle with blah, blah, blah.
No.
Just go and have a laugh.
Absolutely. Well, I never carry a camera, so all my jumps are amazing anyway.
Exactly.
So it makes it perfect. Well, Simon, thank you so much for taking the time to sit down.
No problem.
It's always good to catch up to jumpers, especially people that have had unique entrances into the sport and kind of taken different lines to it and clearly still have a passion to do it. So thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Appreciate it. And guys, thank you again for joining. We will see you next time on Lunatic Fringe. See ya.
Bye.
Well, there you have it. Another episode of the Lunatic Fringe podcast brought to you as always by, well, wait, not as always, actually. Brought to you now by Gyro. Formerly known as NZ Aerosports, you'll head to gyro.com for their next level line of canopies. By Pussfoot, the Extreme Sports Collective. Head over to pussfoot.com to check it out. By Summit Parachute Systems, check out summitparachutesystems.com to talk to Jarrett Martin and the gang about kick-ass pilot rigs, rigging courses, and more. By Flyaway Indoor Skydiving, go to flyawaytn.com and check out all the cutting-edge stuff to come. By Pure Spectrum CBD, head to purespectrumcbd.com to check out their wide range of CBD products. And as for us, head to the lunaticfringepodcast.com to listen to any of the hundreds of episodes currently available, hit the link for our YouTube channel, pick up your copy of the Lunatic Fringe book or The Accidental Stripper, and get a sneak peek at upcoming guests. Once again, thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.